What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Michelle Renee from IamMichelleRenee.com. And I am so excited to have, of course, another dope Black woman on this platform. What's up, Miss Natasha Wade? How are you?
Hey girl, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. Can you tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what your brand is?
Absolutely. So I am Natasha Wade. I reign from H-Town, that's Houston for all those that don't know. And I am the Chief Experience Officer of Natasha Wade Black Women's Soul Coach. And what I do is I basically help Black women achieve their deepest soul desires in life, love, work, and play.
Ooh, just something about that just kind of sends chills up my soul. That's soul work right there. Dig a little deeper and explain what that means for those who have no idea of what a soul coach is, or what, why we would even need it.
Yeah. So for me, this really came as kind of a labor of love. It I ended up, like at some point when I had my previous business, I was doing career coaching, just sort of generic resume writing, cover letter writing, mock interview preparation, things like that for all different types of professionals. And when I had received my own coach, or actually invested in my own coach, she asked me, she said, what would you do if time and money wasn't a limitation? And the first thing I thought of was Black women, because I have just such an innate passion and love for that particular demographic.
Yeah,
right?
Same.
And I think it especially came as a calling and kind of a nagging for me, after the Breonna Taylor situation, right? Because I think I fell witness to understanding exactly how underestimated, undervalued, and just unseen we really are.
Yes.
Disrespected, disregarded, just so many, discarded, so many verbs that I could use here when it comes to Black women, that I just, at some point I got tired of it, and I said, I'm going to create a space for Black women where they can be uplifted, fed, and nourished. And so if there's no other place on this planet where they can be seen and heard, it's going to be with me.
Right. I think that's why, when I ran across, we actually ran across each other in a Facebook group, and I saw you post something, and I was just like, that was deep. Then minding my business, going on about, and I saw you post something, I was like, okay, that was deep too. And me being who I am, because I am my mother's child, I am big on the comments. I am big on, if I can see the profile, I want to know what the profile says about the person. And so I immediately went to your profile page on Facebook. I saw some videos that you posted, and I was like, and your intro said, it's Natasha Wade, the Black Woman Soul Coach. I was like, Black Woman Soul Coach? This sounds intriguing. What is this? And I started paying attention, and then I started listening, and I'm like, oh, she's dope. So then I had to send the awkward DM. Hey, how are you? Not trying to be creepy or anything, but I'm like truly enthralled with what you have going on, and I want to know more about it. And you were just as sweet as could be, like, okay, sure. How do you want to connect? And I was like, are you for real?
I wouldn't be. You're amazing.
But it was such an organic, such a deep, cool, instant, oh yeah, we got to do this. And so we ended up having like a quick meet and greet. It was not quick at all, but we had a meet and greet, right? And after chatting, I was like, oh yes, this is the collaboration that's supposed to happen, because a lot of what you just said mirrors exactly why I started IamMichelleRenee.com, because we as Black women have so often just been, like you said, discarded, mistreated, disrespected, and not given a space to be ourselves authentically, not at work, not in the world in general. So why not create a platform where every time you come here, you're going to get uplifted, you're going to get a giggle, You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to
Mm-hmm.
find out where you can find more women like yourself. You get a tribe, you get a home, you get a family, you get a place to connect. And so I absolutely had to have you in this space. So again, I'm so honored to have you here.
I'm honored to be
Tell
here.
how you got to this journey of, I mean, Breonna Taylor was a breaking point for a lot of us. A lot of us, it hit so hard because it's like, here you see adult Black woman trying to live her life, do the right thing, going to school, working hard, working several jobs, because most of us do, and really trying to create the life of what we've been fed as this American type dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then to have that snatched away from her. And not only to have it snatched away from her, no one has to pay the price for it.
Absolutely. And when I think about my journey leading up to that point, Breonna Taylor was more of the straw that broke the camel's back
Yeah.
versus the genesis, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously I grew up with a single Black mother from the Caribbean who came here with probably no more than the clothes on her back. And all she did was struggle. All she did was struggle to take care of me. She barely slept. She barely had any fun, right?
Yeah.
Um, she spent her waking hours worried about putting food on the table for me. And then growing up, I saw my aunts doing the same thing. I saw my friends doing the same thing. I saw my coworkers doing the same thing. And after a while, I began to kind of equate Black womanhood with survival. That's just what we do. We survive. But I didn't see a lot of Black women dreaming. And I didn't see a lot of Black women fantasizing. I didn't see a lot of Black women, um, just reveling. You know what I'm saying? Having adventures. Like you see all these carefree white women being able to do whatever they want to do and go skiing and swimming and whatever. I didn't see a lot of that. Now, it could be that I just was not in a lot of circles where I got to witness that a lot, but I would like to say that I've been in that I grew up around pretty a diverse set of Black women, and yet I still just saw us surviving, and I didn't really see us thriving mentally. So for me, I just, that's what I wanted to create. I said to myself, you know, where can a Black woman go to just have a little haven for herself where she can dream and she can be. She doesn't have to worry about her husband. She doesn't have to worry about her children. She doesn't have to worry about the neighbors and her mama and everybody else, but she can have something for her. Because let's just be honest, a lot of the Black women that I'm around, they're so busy just trying to make it through the day. And you and I just finished having a conversation about sleep. Some of
Yes.
us are barely sleeping.
Yeah.
That it's difficult for them to have discretionary time to do the extra things that honestly life is all about. Life is not all about working and struggling and hustling and all those things. Life is also about experiencing the
Yeah.
heights of what this earth has to offer before we leave it, you know? So that's how your Black Woman Soul Coach was born. And I love it. This is like the most rewarding work I've ever done.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think when I think about what it is that you do is the idea of manifesting and living life. Because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, we have been kind of programmed to feel like we only have to survive. And I want to break that mindset with my girls. So it's important for me. Yeah, I'm going to work. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to grind it out. But I also intentionally plan that time to rest, one, but to also just have fun,
Yeah.
you know, and say, you know what, absolutely no any more work today or this week or whenever. We're only focusing on having a good time. Let's go do something we wouldn't normally do. Let's go,
Mm-hmm.
try something we wouldn't normally try. And I think that's really important to have those experiences because I don't want them to grow up and say, I never saw this. I was
Mm-hmm.
very fortunate to see my mother spent a lot of time with like her girlfriends, friends that she grew up with in childhood, friends that she met on her journey as an adult, that they would make intentional decisions to get back together, even if it was
Mm-hmm.
for just a short visit or something. But they did that. And I'm like, you know what? When I grow up, I want to make sure that I have friends that I can take time with and spend that kind of time and be intentional about my personal self. Because what happens is, as soon as we become married or have children, now that is the only life we have. We forget that we are
We
still a
lose
singular
ourselves.
person, right? That we're a whole human by ourselves. And so it's really critical to have this kind of work and to have this type of purposed focus for Black women. So I'm very, like I said, just excited to be able to share you in such a way that more Black women can see that this is something that exists. And this is also something that they need. It's not just, this is not an amenity. This is a
No,
necessity.
absolutely. And because I think a lot of Black women take for granted that it's not second nature to us. I'm working with a couple of clients right now where I have to remind them. I have to sometimes remind them to get out of that mind. Like, even when it comes to things having to do with our own mental wellness, when it comes to just, like I said, just maintaining our own sense of health, we often try to attach it to something else that's more communal, right? I have to do this for my children. I have to do this for my parents. I have to do this for the past generation. I have to do this for the future generation. It's very rare that I sometimes hear Black women say, it's okay for me to do this just for me. Just for me, because it feels selfish to say that. It feels selfish to actually say, oh, I deserve this.
Right.
Just by virtue of me being a worthy, amazing, divinely created human being, it's okay for me to want this just for me.
Right. I'm learning to lean into that, and even with wanting alone time, right? And having to combat the idea that someone has done something to me, hence I don't want to be around them, or someone has annoyed me and I don't. I'm like, nope, I want to spend time with me because I like me.
Listen.
And I want to give me what I'm missing, which is time to just reflect, to just meditate and go into myself and enjoy myself.
Yep.
Like, we miss out on that because we are very communal in our thinking, and this must be for this reason or that reason or this person or that person. And I tell my kids all the time, I was like, go spend some time with yourself. I got girls. Go spend some time with yourself. They're like, what? Am I on punishment? No. Learn to love you. Learn to love being in your own presence and just honoring the person that you are and enjoying it. Because there will come a time where you are going to forget that you like you.
Yeah.
And that you don't have to be around somebody else or surrounded with somebody else in order to be a joy, So that's a hard piece, but you hit a really, what can be a sensitive bone for so many people, because they're like, but I am doing it for my family. And me taking care of me is going to benefit everybody else. Yeah, but first it benefits you. And that's who it needs to benefit.
Yeah. And all I'm doing is introducing balance, right? Like, I'm not trying to take away our, Black people in general tend to be very community oriented. That's just built within our DNA. And I'm not trying to take that away. All I'm simply saying is, let's provide a little bit more balance by saying, if you're taking care of the community, you are part of the community. You're an essential part of the community. So don't focus so much on other and externally that you forget within.
Yes.
Right? Like, you are a valid, integral part of the society that you are trying to save right now. So that's why it's important for you to feed yourself, so that you can not only be there for you, but be there for other people. Because we always say you can't pour from an empty cup and all those things. But I think honestly, it's gotten to a point where we just say it in words and we honestly don't mean it. Like, we honestly don't give a shit about the cup.
Yeah.
Some of us are actually trying. Some of us are trying with our lives, still trying to give, not only from an empty cup, but from a broken cup.
Yep. Absolutely. I addressed this, I think, the other day. I was like, here I am constantly pushing the narrative of self-care while I'm over here not caring for myself at all. while I'm over here so exhausted and pushing so hard to do all these things that I feel like at any moment I'm going to pass out or tap out. Okay,
Absolutely.
girl, fall back and take your own advice. You say self-care is essential, say no. Do that.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to learn, like, it's not enough for me to just tell other people that they should be practicing self-care. I should be practicing self-care, and I really need to do it on a regular basis. And it took feeling like I was going to tap out to recognize that. And it shouldn't get to that point. And everybody does. They say the same cliche line every time. Michelle, you know you can't pour from an empty cup. Michelle, you know you can't fill everybody else's bucket if your bucket is empty. I know that. I know. I know. It doesn't change the fact that naturally, as a mom, there's this guilt associated with doing things for yourself. It comes down to buying things for yourself. It comes down to the amount of time you spend by yourself. Like, what are you doing? You've got kids. You should be. And I'm like, And I tell my kids all the time, I said, do you guys like hanging with your friends? They're like, oh yeah, I love hanging. Do you like going on play dates? I love play dates. You like going over your friends' houses? Oh, mom, you're gonna let us go over our friend's house? I was like, no, but I like those things too. I like play dates. I like going to visit with friends.
You gotta tell them.
You know, the same way you don't want me barreling down your neck all day long or doing any of those things. That's me. I'm a person too. I like the same things that you like. And they're like, what? Yeah, I do. But it's letting go of the guilt that you feel, because they will say, if I walk out of the house, oh my gosh, you're always going somewhere. I'm like, seriously? Seriously? The work from home person is always going somewhere? Nah, partner, you're not gonna guilt me into feeling bad about taking an hour or two to take care of me, because if I don't take care of me, you're not gonna like the version of me that you get. It's irritated, it's annoyed, it is easily angered, it is not kind. No, that's not who you want in your mom at all. But it takes a lot for them to really be able to see that. And I think that the importance of this kind of work is often overlooked and under recognized, right? Because people don't even recognize that this is something that they need to have so that they can, honor that space within themselves. How long have you been doing this work?
I mean, I would say unofficially, I've been doing this work my entire life. I've always been that friend or that person that people go to or seek out in order to feel safe and in order to feel seen and heard, which is sometimes rare. Not a lot of people that you can go to and not feel judged about the things that you do or the things that you think, or whatever the case may be. I would say coaching officially I've done for maybe 5+ years. I don't know, it's a hard thing to answer, because I feel like a coach is not really something you do, it's somebody that you are. It's something you are, you know? So in some shape or form or capacity throughout my entire career for 10+ years, I've done some sort of coaching, whether it's been in my community organizing work, whether it's been in my disaster relief work, whether it's been in my HR and talent management professional work. But me as a business has probably been doing this for about at least 8+ years.
Okay. I think that's amazing. How do people get to you? How do they connect with you? How do they get your services? What's the best way to reach out to you?
So my website is natashawade.com, and on social media, on both Facebook and Instagram, I'm at Coach Natasha Wade. So you can hit me up on either one of those, DM me, and I'll answer you right back. My email is actually natasha@natashawade.com. I am offering my You-Phoria-90 coaching services or coaching practice. My You-Phoria-90 Coaching Program, which is basically a 3-month program at a deep discount right now for approximately $1,000. And that is, again, covering about 7 aspects of life: health, wealth, play, profession, purpose, to make sure that you're fully fed in all of those different areas. And again, it's for 90 days. It's a really amazing experience. I love it. Going back to what you said, I think people don't really often or immediately see a need for this type of work because we're so used to just doing things on our own, and we're not really sometimes a help-seeking people. It is
Right.
getting better, but I can tell you from just from the reception of it and just from some of the feedback that I've already gotten, being able to have somebody in that corner to hold you accountable for caring for yourself is instrumental. It's a game changer. I have
Absolutely.
somebody like that for me. I'm that somebody for my clients. And I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference in the way that you move.
It does. It does. I think it's so powerful to be able to have those kind of conversations, to have that support system, because you don't realize how much you're going through until you have to sit down and unpack it, until you have to sit down and say, oh gosh, I did not have a game plan for how to address this particular aspect of my life, but I
Mm-hmm.
need to because it's calling me right now. And I think it's
Mm-hmm.
so important just to be able to honor yourself and say, hey, I'm worth this investment. I'm worth taking the time to make sure that my needs are met so I can meet the needs of others. Also, just so my needs can be met. That's big. That's big. So everybody, I need you to make sure that you go and follow Coach Natasha Wade on Instagram and Facebook. Check out natashawade.com and hit her up at natashawade.com so that you can ask those questions and find out more about her 90-day euphoria, euphoria,
Euphoria 90,
euphoria
Euphoria
90.
90 coaching program. That's absolutely right.
Yes, I absolutely love it. Is there anything else that you would want everybody to know about who you are and what you do and just the importance of these different things, or anything else?
Sure. Well, I did just finish writing my ebook, which is The Black Girl's Guide to Discovering Her Divine Calling. So
Ooh,
if you're one of those Black women out there that um, you're just tired of collecting a paycheck, you're maybe looking for something with a little bit more substance, a little bit more soul, something that sort of feeds your spirit a little bit more. That's actually on sale on my website as well, which is really important. Um, and yeah, I think the only thing that I would honestly say is invest in yourself. Like, we invest in ourselves in all different types of ways. We invest in the most expensive shoes. We invest in the most expensive hair.
yes.
We invest in the most expensive clothing. And I really need you to ask yourself, are all of those things going to give you lasting change though? When it comes to your spirit, how much is your spiritual wellness worth?
Right, 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 right. Right. I think that's important. And sometimes we don't realize that sometimes to recognize our own worth, we have to put something out to see, to test, and to say, you know what, I'm definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And stop equating our worth to materialistic things.
Yep.
But your worth is who you are, what you present, what you desire. And I think the big thing about it is that, it's not always like I don't do what I do to become rich or to do anything like that. I do what I do because I love it. And
Hmm.
empowering other Black women and highlighting them fills my bucket. I found a way to fill my bucket
There you go.
that didn't require me to um I don't know what the word is. It didn't require me to have to like leave the house or do something that was so big and grandiose. It was just something that said, you know what? You love Black women. You love Black culture. What's a way that you can focus on it that can be, energizing? And this work is tiring, but it's
Yes.
way more rewarding. The conversations that I have feed my soul. The soul family that I've built as a result of it is amazing. The opportunities that it allows me to open my eyes to see Black women in a completely different scope and lens and light is amazing. Like, I love us much more every day because of the conversations that I'm having with women about
Hmm.
who we are and how our journeys, while vastly different in some areas, are so much the same in others. I think that's amazing. So thank you again for that and for just sharing. I got one more question.
Sure.
My final question I ask all of my guests is, what is one word that affirms who you are?
Ah, I
Just
love
one.
that question.
Just one.
Um, Authentic.
Tell us why.
I thrive and strive off of being unapologetically, fully, completely me. If I'm not me, I'm not functioning.
Yes.
So I don't, being someone else, trying to be someone else, trying to be what society wants me to be, trying to be what other people want me to be is draining. And I don't feel like I'm walking through life um, conscious when I'm doing that. I feel very much fully alive when I'm being myself, doing myself, living up to the purest version of who I am.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And that authenticity is what I'm sure drew me in and said, go check her out. Don't be afraid to shoot the DM and ask the
I'm
question
so
of,
happy you
can you
did.
interview? Me too, because it has birthed into this thing where it's deeper than just saying, hey, can I interview for my platform? It turned into, hey, how you doing? Are you good?
Mhm,
What's going on?
mhm,
What's happening
mhm,
over that way?
mhm.
And really having a genuine person to say, I'm checking on you.
Yeah,
Sis, I'm checking on you. Are you all right? And we need that sometimes. We actually need that often because
yeah.
Black women as a whole, we will suffer in silence and nobody will ever know.
Listen,
And I want to
that.
normalize saying I'm not okay when I'm not okay.
Yeah.
So that's big. So I thank you, Natasha. I'm so glad that we had this opportunity this time.
This
Y'all go
was so
check her out.
fun.
Be
I love
sure
it.
to follow in every aspect that you can. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get this information out so that the Black Woman Soul Coach can have her plate full for the remainder of the year, as much as she can handle with feeding your souls, so we can walk in our divine purpose, y'all. Y'all have a good one. And by all means, protect your peace and protect your energy.
Mwah.